Here we are doing another tutorial for computer animation, and what we're going to go over in this quick tutorial is how to program a play button and give yourself some actions on a layer in your movie clip so that you can make it stop and start at particular points. So we're just going to animate a simple shape tween here of this ball changing colors, and like I said, we're going to draw a button and add some functions to it with what's called Actionscript. So we're going to start a new document. I'm going to use Actionscript 2 because I believe that's what you guys have on your computers. What we want to start with is going ahead and drawing our button. So here we're just going to make a quick blue box. I'm going to also take my type tool and write the word play in capital letters. I'm going to change the color to white so that it'll stand out, and maybe make this box a little smaller and center it in the middle there. Alright, so now I've got my play button all made. I'm going to select everything, press F8, go to the button option there, and type in play button. So that should do for that. I'm going to add in a new layer. To keep track of these, always a good idea to think about labeling your layers. Here on this layer, I'm also going to create that ball, so I'll just call this the ball, and then I'll add one other one, and this is an actions layer. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up this animation to, let's say, 30 frames. Go ahead, shift click and click down on the top and then the bottom to select across all of them, and press F5 to open up your animation to 30 frames. So again, on the first frame here, we are going to draw a circle. Again, we're just going to animate a simple ball shape for now. I'm going to make this ball a color, make it this green, fill in that, and then maybe on this 20th frame here, I will press F6, and I will take this ball, move it over to this side here, and change the color of it. So maybe we'll make it kind of like a yellowish or orange, something there. Okay, so we're going to have this animating ball. We're going to make a shape tween here of this ball kind of shifting from green to yellow. Okay, so when I go to test this animation, what happens? I just get the looping animation of a ball just going one way. My play button is essentially useless. What I need to do is put an action on this first keyframe here to stop the animation. So the animation won't start until I click on this play button. Okay, so what we're going to do is click on this first keyframe here in your actions. Find this little arrow down in your properties bar that says edit the action script for this object. Right now, what we're going to do is just look at what's called global functions here. We're going to then go to timeline control, and you can just double click on this stop right here. Stop in the dialog box here will make your animation stop. So if we take that, now we go to player animation, and it just stops. You'll see my mouse turns into a hand over the top of this button, but we haven't added ActionScript to this button yet either. So what I need to do now is go ahead, select my button, go back to this arrow that will bring up your options tools, and what we need to do here is bring up movie clip control. So what we need to do is put in a couple things. We need to say on, so we'll double click that on, and then on release, which is when the button is pressed. So we'll put in on release there, and then what we need to go next and do is go to the timeline control, and we'll press play. Okay, so what that should do, I believe, is that should let that button start our animation, and I do believe that there is an accident there. So I'm just going to go back to these buttons. I'm going to release that. I think what I wanted to do is to add that play right after that parenthesis mark there. Okay, so make sure that you just go into that end part, that end parenthesis, and add the function there. Let's try this again. So when I look at this animation, I click play, that starts my animation going through, and then it just pops back to the start. Okay, so the other thing that we may want to do is at the end of the animation, we may want to also give another keyframe here, and what we could do now is also stop this animation here. So if I go back to my actions menu from this arrow here, and again I just double click on stop, and that's in my timeline controls. Now what should happen when I preview this is that my animation plays and then stops, and then if I click play again, it will go back to the beginning, and then I can click play again. Okay, so that is really the simple aspects of this assignment, tutorial, what have you. So when we get into creating your how-to animations, they should have a play button at the beginning. Before that, a short, maybe a little introduction, a play button that starts your animation, maybe a stop or two of a frame, and then maybe another play again button at the end. So I hope that you have lots of luck and fun applying this concept to your animation projects.